Hey guys, it's Kevin again. I am with
the Auburn Wanderer!
Once again to review a film that we were both very hyped for, and that, of course, is Uncut Gems. So what Uncut Gems is essentially about is we center on the main character of Howard Ratner. He is this jewel thief of sorts who he collects many different, trinkets and things like that, and he's very much into that business, and one day he gets a hold of these gems that are from Ethiopia, and he strikes up this deal with Kevin Garnett where he is going to try to gamble off of him with a game that he is doing and things like that, but he also owes debts to many other people, and because the fact that he is this gambling addict, things really start to go sideways for him, and you really start to question whether Howard is going to be able to pay off all these debts and if he's going to be able to come out of this in the best way possible. So I know you were incredibly hyped for this film, just because the fact, not just because your boy's in it, but also because, there's a certain team that's featured that he may or may not be wearing right now and things like that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This film right here
is your movie.
Besides It Chapter 2 this year, this was easily my most anticipated film of the year. Not even fucking close. I wouldn't say I'm an Adam Sandler fan, but I do like his dramatic work a lot, but yeah. I thought the Safdie brothers, or Safdie brothers... I'm gonna call them the Safdies! Even though they're Safdies. The Safdie brothers' last film, Good Time, was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was really excited to see their follow-up. But then more details started getting revealed about this film, like that Kevin Garnett was gonna be playing him fucking himself.
Yes.
And then my Lord and Savior, Abel, the Weekend Tesfaye was gonna have a cameo in it. And then, Lakeith Stanfield's also in it, and it was just like, Idina Menzel, and, at the time, we didn't know who Julia Fox was. Now we know, just a great cast. The trailer came out, and I was like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And funny enough, I've actually seen this film 2 times because I went to the Boston premiere. And
you were going to do a review by yourself, but you said it was shit.
It was not very good, so now here we are.
Yes.
Yes, so I've seen this film 2 times now, and I have a lot to say about it. But what did you think, Kevin?
Yeah, so I was pretty hyped for this film as well. Not just because of it being an Adam Sandler film, things like that. A24, I mean, I've told you guys this before. I hear A24 as a film come out, it's immediately on my radar because they have just been on such a streak lately. Had a few duds here and there, but for the most part, especially theatrical-wise, it's just been so consistent. This year, I think, being maybe their strongest yet. And after all the buzz and things like that, I just got so increasingly excited for this film, and it absolutely delivered. I said this in my Letterboxd review, and I said it once again, I've been watching a lot of films these past 2 weeks, and after seeing half a dozen films, it really says a lot when I think Uncut Gems is the true masterpiece that it really is. It lives up to the hype in pretty much every way possible. So there's a lot to really talk about here. Before we do, as someone who's seen this movie 2 times, what did you think of it?
This film is great.
Yes.
I think this film is better than Good Time. And, while I don't think it's like a masterpiece like he thinks it is, I have some problems with the film, I will be honest.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I think that this film is fucking great. It is one of the most anxiety-inducing films of the decade.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think it has some of the best performances I've seen of the decade, honestly. I think that the Safdie brothers are just, like, geniuses at the type of filmmaking they like to do now, and, yeah, this is a special film, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, so the one thing that we both can very much agree on, because I know there are some little disagreements we have, nothing too big, but there are little disagreements we have here and there. The one thing that we can both definitely collectively agree on, even if I think you don't like this movie, is how great Adam Sandler truly is in this role. I said walking out of it to you, Howard Ratner's the kind of character that could be one of the most unlikable and just awful, worst main characters of the year because of the kind of person that he is. He's very egotistical. He's very manipulative in that way. But Sandler's the kind of actor that just brings this charisma and he brings this likability to him that I think other actors just simply would not be able to do. And he also gives maybe the best work of his entire career. It's hard to say because he's given a lot of great performances, but this just might be his best yet because he completely transformed in this role. And I know you were really raving about him coming out of your advanced screening you saw of it. So I know you have a lot to say for sure.
I think this is the best performance of the year.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely up there for me.
It's easily the best performance of Adam Sandler's career.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's great in Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
But he is better here.
Yeah.
This performance it's crazy because he is able to deliver his passion as Howard in such a visceral and
nuanced way.
Like zany way.
Yeah.
And he's very getting through different loopholes and stuff, but he also is dealing with other issues other than his gambling addiction and stuff. And his jewelry shop. He has family issues, but he isn't as sincere about that. And how Adam Sandler was able to differentiate what types of ways that he's interpreting such different situations and how he goes about them, and what levels of emotional vulnerability he has in those situations. He is so good at that. And I know the Safdie brothers are great directors, so they helped him through that. But Adam Sandler, he's the one that had the performance, and he's fucking amazing here. Adam Sandler is a really really good actor.
Yeah, he's great.
And he is fantastic here. I know he's going to do more comedies and stuff, and I know a dramatic isn't the way that he's really going to go with his career from now on, because he has the Netflix.
He definitely should. He definitely should.
Yes, but those comedies make a lot of money for him. But I thought that he was fucking amazing here. Definitely, in my opinion, the best performance of the decade. I really wish he would be. I don't think he's gonna get nominated at the Academy Awards.
It sucks, but
I mean, there's been a lot of great performances. I mean, Adam Driver was amazing, A Marriage Story, but to me, this is a better performance. But
it's definitely one of my favorite performances of the year for sure. And it's one of those performances where it's hard to believe Adam Sandler wasn't the first guy they had in mind, that this role wasn't made for him, because it very much feels like it is. It feels like, again, this is a role that really only he could pull off, and he just does such a phenomenal job with it. Someone we have to talk about though, because I know you were very excited for him, was Kevin Garnett. I thought he was fantastic in this movie. This guy's not an actor. You even told me that he doesn't want to do another movie after this, but it doesn't show. It does not show. This guy's not an actor. He is so good in this movie. You would think that he is a professional actor in the way, and I thought he did such a great job here. I was very impressed by his acting.
I mean, he's playing himself. It's not very hard to do, to be fair, but I'm just being tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Garnett, I'm obviously, if you can't tell, I am a Celtics fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
I thought you were a fan of the fucking whatever my team is, whatever the New York team is.
You're a fan of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought you were a fan of the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah. Listen, Kevin Garnett, though, does an amazing job of playing himself. Yep. I mean, he's a great personality, so seeing it in this film is such an elevated type situation.
And he has a really good range to him, too.
He does. It's it's just the moments where he has to just go off on Howard are just so great to watch. I mean, it's definitely intense and a bit what the fuck's happening. But definitely. It's just oh no, man, I thought he did a fucking great job. I mean, yeah, he's playing himself, but he does a fucking amazing job at it. Amping himself up, getting into that zone, and just being KG, man. I thought it was super dope, and yeah.
Who we have to talk about, though, is Julia Fox, because if it wasn't for Adam Sandler in this movie, if he wasn't the strongest performance, it would be her. And that's the thing that's interesting, because again, this is not someone that is an experienced actress. She has never done a movie before. I was watching an interview she did with the Safdies where she essentially said, she didn't even know if she could act. She thought her screen test was a fluke. She didn't really know if she'd be able to do stuff, and it does not show here. This is what I was talking about with Cats, guys. This is why I can't defend someone like Francesca Hayward, because Julia Fox shows that, like, even if you're not a professional actress, you can still fucking do it. If you have it, you have it. And she's got it. She's got it, man. And she was amazing in this movie. You buy every second of her because this is a girl that is genuinely a good person. She's just caught up in a bad situation. She's with the wrong people in that way. And you see how this is really affecting her. She generally does care for Howard. She has, you know, hopes and dreams and things like that. And it's tragic to see with this character. And she just does a really great job conveying, I think, the genuine side of this character, how good-natured she is in that way, but how she always has to do like really risky things because of the people that she's involved with. And I just thought she was fantastic in this, so I cannot wait to see her. I really hope she does more stuff after this because she's definitely, in terms of like breakthrough performances, I mean, if it wasn't for Florence Pugh, she'd be like at the top of my list because I thought she was absolutely phenomenal here.
I thought she was great in this movie, you know, because, you know, she's playing a character that can so easily be, like, interpreted in, like,
a sexualized way.
Yeah, but I don't think she's like that.
No,
you know?
no,
It's
definitely.
like
That's just who she is.
She, in a way, you know, she is, to me, the most human character in this film.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because she's the one that feels the most sincere. I mean, Howard is the one that's most passionate, but he is just like a fucking manipulator. And,
yeah, we'll get into that.
yeah, but like, you know, it's just like you know, she has her priorities set, you know, and I think that Julia Fox did a really great job portraying this character who has love for a person that, you know, it's like, you know, they had each other, you know,
yeah.
And, you know, she did a great job at, you know, portraying that, and I thought that she was really, really fucking good in this movie.
Especially in one scene, like towards the end. I thought she was fucking
phenomenal. I really hope that she does more stuff.
Definitely.
I know she was just in the Jack Boys music video, which is cool, but I want to see more, like, acting roles. So.
Yeah, definitely. Now, in terms of the supporting cast, I mean, everyone's really great here. Lakeith Stanfield gives another really strong performance. Idina Menzel, man, this is the kind of role she needs to be taking. She is so good in this movie, and she was in it more than I was expecting to. I thought she was great here, and I really hope she continues to do more shit like this.
Lakeith Stanfield in this, you know, he just is like, man, he just like has like the aggression and like the energy and just like the you know, this like frustration that his character has. You know, he is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
You know, with this, Sorry to Bother You, Knives Out. I know he's gonna be like the photograph. I think.
Yeah.
I'll see that because he's in it. But yeah, I think he's a great actor. Idina Menzel, I actually didn't realize that it was actually Idina Menzel in seeing the trailers. I didn't even know that she was in this movie before I saw it. And I thought that she was really, really good.
Yeah.
I thought that she did a really good job of playing this wife for Howard. That's just at the end of the ropes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And yeah, she's really good. But there's one other person in this. No.
That's everyone. We got some mobsters. We got his kids. They're good. That's everyone in the cast.
There's one other guy.
No.
Who I think his name is Abel Tesfaye. The Weekend.
I've
never heard of this guy. I really have not. I don't even know this guy.
No.
The Weekend. Who the fuck is the Weekend? You know, I just don't know who the guy is. But you know, like, you know, he was pretty cool. So. Yeah.
In all seriousness, though, he's not in this movie much, but for what he has, he definitely does a really good job. And you can tell that, like, he is very passionate about this stuff because he is a fan of the Safdies and things like that. And I think it's really cool that he was able to secure a role, albeit a very short one, but an effective one for sure. It's the perfect example of just a really great cameo role that he really makes the most out of.
This is my boy. Abel is my Lord and Savior. I love this man more than I love myself. I loved it. I thought it was fucking beautiful, man. Where the fuck is where the fuck is that backlight, dude? You know, that blue light, wherever the fuck it was, the black light, like where the fuck is it, bro?
What the fuck is a weekend?
Yeah, what the fuck is a weekend? I just like, you know. I loved it when he was doing the morning. He sounded great.
That was great.
I loved it. He had the old hair again, like the wig. That was fire. And him and Adam Sandler's altercation was absolutely magical. He made me laugh my ass off.
Yeah, it was great.
I love the fact that he's in this film because you know, I'm not joking with this. I wanted to see Good Time, but I like not like that much. But when The Weeknd tweeted that he thought it was like a masterpiece and was like one of his favorite movies of like the decade, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it now.
This boy.
You know, it's cool to see him in this film. I loved it. My guy is in a big movie.
Yes.
I'm the big queen. Yeah, I loved it. I thought he did a great job. Yeah.
You just made me talk for like 5 minutes about a small cameo. What the fuck? But
Fuck you.
either way, cast here is great. One of the best ensembles of the year for sure. I don't think there's a single dud in the entire cast. Everyone just does such an incredible job. But the one thing that makes this movie, obviously, besides Adam Sandler, is the directing here by the Safdie brothers, who I think we can both agree are quickly becoming some of our favorites in the business right now, because they really have a knack when it comes to just hyper adrenaline rush kind of directing. This is directing where there is constant tension throughout this entire movie. There really isn't a second to breathe in that way, and that can be very hard to convey, but the Safdie brothers, they just nail it. You constantly feel just as anxiety-ridden as Howard. You constantly feel just as on edge as him, and I think they did such a great job with that, but also how they were able to still ground the movie in reality in that way. I mean, the film, it does have its moments of comedy, it has its moments of drama, but primarily this is very much a thriller in that way, and they did a really great job, I think, with helming that. I was very impressed by their directing here.
Their directing here is fucking insane.
Oh yeah,
because it's like this film, you know, it tackles like the anxiety and like the craziness differently than Good Time did in a way.
Yeah,
because Good Time's narrative is, I'm not saying this one doesn't do it, but like Good Time was like this, and this, and this.
Oh, yeah.
This movie has like moments of like pause.
Yeah, it gives you.
But still, this film is more intense than
Yeah.
Good Time. You know, which is saying something because goddamn, Good Time was insane. But like to me, they can't tackle like intensity and like aggression and like visceralness like unlike most directors, because you know they do like, you know, the talking, the loud, the screaming stuff, but it's the way that they film it and
Yeah.
edit it and paste it and, you know, put it all together into this one beautiful madness blobby
That is Uncut Gems.
Yeah, goo goo gaga boo 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 thing that, you know. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but you know, we're keeping it in. But you know,
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that fucking means. But like, they just like, they're so good at, because you know, like a key thing they do is they'll do like the talking over stuff, but like, you know, like the way they do it, you know, it's just so great.
Yeah.
And you know, and then like the way it gets into the finale, it's just like holy shit, and like the way it's filmed and the way they go for it, and the score by Daniel Lopatin.
Oh, we'll get
oh
into,
my
yeah,
god,
we gotta
it's
get
just
into
like
that for sure.
Oh, it was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic work by them, you know, by Josh and Benny.
Yeah, and then the writing here as well, though, that you talked about before, how there are moments where you can breathe in this movie. Well, I would very much disagree, because you're essentially watching a man that has fucked up everything, every single relationship.
I mean, yeah, no, but it's not like Good Time where like there's not a moment you get a break.
Well, yeah, but still, you're on edge with every.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and you're watching a man that has basically fucked up everything in his life, and he has the intention, he thinks, to try to make it all better, but that greed is what's consuming him in that way. And I think this film, you know, it's many things, but it really is a tale about greed and what that can do to a person and how that can just make them lose everything and also make them very naive. Howard is such a naive individual. He's so fixated on the idea that just everything's going to go my way, you know, nothing's going to harm me in that way. Even at the end of this movie, you can tell this guy's just grasping at straws. Like, you know, this is going to crumble for him. You know he's not going to be able to come out of this, but he still has that attitude. So you are just anxiously awaiting for things to just start, for him to start messing up, for things to just start, you know, piling down for him. But you also, because of Sandler's likability, you're hoping things can work out for him. You have that hope that maybe he can work this out, but you don't know if it's actually going to happen. And they do an excellent job, I think, with the screenplay here. Because again, every single interaction just feels so much more vital. Every interaction, it just feels so on the line. It always always feels like this is, you know, this is the end for Howard. Like, this is the end-all be-all of whatever he's involved in, whether it's the jewel, you know, whether it's money he owes someone, or his wife getting more increasingly annoyed that he doesn't want to get a divorce, or his very complicated relation with Julia Fox and things like that. He's dealing with about 10 million things in this movie, and it's just, it's insane to watch, and they do an excellent job, I think, with the screenplay here for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the story here is fantastic. The
Yeah.
dialogue is hilarious,
Oh
points,
my
but it's
God.
also just like so, just like
It's so
intense.
quotable.
Yeah, this one has so many great like quotes and one-liners.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really, really great screenplay.
Yeah, definitely one of the best screenplays of the year for sure. And also really gets into the mindset of someone like Howard that is this jeweler, what they really go through, how much it means to him, all that kind of stuff. It's just, it's a really well done screenplay in that way. The cinematography, though, in this movie, though, it's on another level. It is so visceral and really puts you into this it's part of the reason why the film, you're so on edge in that way, because of the way the cinematography is done. It's just very hyperactive, and there's a lot of scenes here that are very artsy and things like that, and I think they did a really great job with the cinematography here, because again, it really puts you into Howard's head. I mean, it's very again, it's very much a hyper sort of, you know, hypnotic sort of cinematography, and I really love the way that was done here for sure. Another aspect you talked about, though, we'll get to the cinematography in a little bit. I'm not cutting you off. I forgot something.
I don't know if I said the cinematography.
Okay, what?
I mean, the cinematography looked good, so.
Yeah, all right. Another aspect you touched upon, though, is that, yeah, a big part of this movie, and I think one of the motifs that really works, is that everyone's always talking over each other in this movie, and it works because you can see how just annoyed the people are with Howard. They're not letting him get a word in edgewise. Like, anytime that he tries to, someone's cutting him off. Someone else has some sort of alternate proposal. They do not want to do things the way he is, because they know that he's not looking for their best interest. He's looking for his own, and I think that's a big part of this movie as well. It's about focusing on your own self-worth and not others, and that's really Howard's biggest problem in this movie, is that he'll tell people, like, look, I'm doing this for you. He's clearly not. He's clearly doing it for himself, and it's definitely one of the most interesting aspects of his character, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that, you know, it's like, you know, this movie takes place like the Diamond District and stuff. It's like, to me, it captures like that rawness that like it needs, you know, and like that authenticity. And
Absolutely.
yeah, no, I thought that the style and tone of this film was great.
Yeah, definitely. And the score here, though, by Daniel Laptain, you talked about it before. It's probably one of the best of the entire year. It's one of those scores that not only, I think, does it work for this movie, it works as its own thing. Like, it's so... it just completely transfixes you into the movie. It's so euphoric in that way, and I think it's definitely one of the best scores of the year. Just the synth, the hyper-ventilating sort of feel of it all, it's just fantastic. And I know synth scores are some of your favorites, so I know you're probably going to want to listen to the score on its own and things like that.
The score here is fucking amazing.
Yeah, and he did a great job with Good Time, but this is on another level.
Yeah, because like the thing that's interesting about this, it has this like kind of like retro feel to it, but it also has this a little bit of like ambience, you know, like melodic type elements to it, and you know, it's like a little like key stuff. It's like it's so good the way he uses like chords.
Oh
and
my God.
Progression. It's so dope.
Particularly towards the end. The score towards the end is one that you're not going to forget. Not just because of what ends up going down, which we'll get into without spoilers, of course. The way that he just the piece of music that he uses, it's one that you're going to want to listen to a lot, and I think he just did such a great job with it. The editing in this film, though, it's pretty much perfectly paced. I don't really think there's any scene that needs to be cut out. They really got the most out of everything, and again, it's edited in such a way where you feel like you are just as at the end of your rope as Howard is, where there's all these various things going on. There's a great scene especially where he is just trying to calm down, but he keeps getting like 5 different phone calls, and they're all about different things, but he keeps getting these 5 phone calls, and you see he's trying to make it all work, but it's not working for him. It's going south, it's going sideways, and I think they did a really great job with the editing here for sure. It's definitely some of my favorites of the year.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah, so I know that you said, now obviously I think I've been pretty vocal. I don't really have any problems with this movie, but I know you said you had a few little issues here and there, so I guess just get into them overall.
I don't have any issues with the acting or directing.
Mm-hmm.
My main issues with the screenplay. I think the way this movie wraps up was pretty predictable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have disagreed with me on this. Here's the thing. There is something involving the Celtics.
Yes.
Towards the end of this game. I knew how that was going to wrap up just because I know more. I just knew how it was going to wrap just because I'm a Celtics fan.
And if I can just weigh in there for a second, the reason that didn't bother me is because I don't know jack shit about sports. So this is one of the few times where that's actually a good thing for me because it made this ending so much more unpredictable. I was constantly on edge, not knowing how it was going to play out. And you know, I'm interested in seeing for someone like you and another friend that we have, if that also is an issue, if that lessens the ending of this movie because of the predictability factor.
It doesn't no, that part doesn't lessen it. What lessens it for me is what happens because of how that happens. What happens. It's it's just to me, I just kind of knew what was gonna happen. To be honest.
I get that.
I know people disagree with me, but I just kind of guessed it. And I was okay, it's probably gonna go this way, and it did. And my only other issue is that there's one relationship in this film with Howard that he has with someone very, very close in on the main situation. I wish there was more to it. And there's a scene where Howard's trying to do something, trying to communicate more with this individual. I want to ruin the relationship, but to me, I wish there was more there because
I can see that.
To me, it just I wasn't, especially because of how it kind of wraps up. It's very, shocking and just oh my god. I just wish that there was a little bit more emotional weight there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the rest of the ending is a whole fucking emotional gut punch.
Yeah, definitely. And going back to the ending without getting into spoilers, it's one you're never gonna forget. It is so shocking. It does not end the way that you want it to, and it's brutal. It's definitely brutal. It's one of my favorite endings of the year for sure, and especially the last shot in particular is fucking masterful. It's one I've been thinking about constantly, and I just love everything about it. Guys, I just completely fell in love with Uncut Gems. I think this is such a phenomenal film. It's a great story about greed and about power and how they can really corrupt an individual and just make them really forget what they have in that way and make them not focus on those things that are much more important. It has one of the best, I think, main characters of the year. It has some of the best acting of the entire year from both Adam Sandler and Julia Fox for sure. Adam Sandler especially, though, I think is enough of a reason to watch this alone. The Safdie brothers, I think, have really solidified themselves as one of the best talents out there for sure. Anything they're going to be doing now, I'm going to be there day one. I cannot wait to see what they're going to... I've said this for a lot of directors that have had sophomore efforts this year, but this is definitely one of the most impressive that I have seen all year. I think that they are just really knocking it out of the park, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to do next. Between the amazing score from Daniel Laptane, the anxiety-inducing feeling of it all, this is easily one of my favorites of the entire year. It is an absolute masterful achievement in that way, and I think I've gotten on about enough. I'm definitely going to give Uncut Gems overall an A+.
I think this is a great film. The Safdie brothers are fantastic talents, and we're really lucky to see what they're doing. Adam Sandler is incredible in this film as well as everyone else. This is an unforgettable film. I have some issues with it, but I'm so happy how successful this one's been doing, and I can't wait to see what comes next. I'm going to give Uncut Gems an 8 out of 10.
All right, so yeah, we both really love this one for sure. Highest recommendation, and from one Boston Celtics fan to others watching, I mean, it definitely delivered for him, so good job, good job. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. We got one more review coming up, so definitely look forward to it, and we will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.